What's up, y'all? It's your girl Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. Tonight we're getting into Put a Ring on It. Before we get started, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to this channel, and let's get into it. So everybody's still at Dr. Nicole's office. Charlie just found out that this boy Otis was over in this girl's DMs. So she's mad. She's ready to leave. Dr. Nicole asked Charlie and Otis, can they resolve anything? Charlie said no. She said, no, I don't blame her, Dr. Nicole. Like right now in this moment, there's not a whole lot she's gonna be able to listen to. Charlie said he's embarrassed her enough. So that's how she's feeling about that. I don't know why you would think Dr. Nicole, like, that's real cute how you talk real soft to everybody and all that. But like, I'm thinking if it were me, I'm ready to go. Like at this point, my ears will be all red and hot and I can't. So session over, Dr. Nicole. That's how Charlie is feeling. And I feel her on that. Alfonso and Shay, she asked Alfonso and Shay about their date. Both of them are some big ass liars, both of them. Shay explains how Alfonso came in and didn't speak to her. And she said, he walked in and he was like, they sat down like I wasn't even there, and she's bothered for nothing, but I have a feeling she's always bothered for nothing. Alfonso said, and it went left and they're in it. That's how you explain that? Because that's not what happened. It didn't go left and they were in it. Shay is ignorant, got her ass up out of her seat after, hollering at that girl from across the room. When she got up, that girl, like most people, felt the need to protect herself. So she grabbed a plate because she was like, this big chick, bring her behind over here any closer, I'm gonna whomp her ass upside the head with this plate, as she deserved, because none of that was necessary. You flipped out because they came in and sat down. That's it. That's all, Shay. It's something wrong with you. And Fonzo, it's something wrong with you because you think that shit is funny. She said she didn't appreciate it. Like that's her spouse. He's supposed to speak to her. Dr. Nicole said, what did she say? She said the girl got loud, and if confrontation is what you want, basically if confrontation is what you're gonna get, she not gonna back down off of the confrontation. And Dr. Nicole asked her, is that what you wanted though? Did you want confrontation? And Shay's like, oh no, God no. Yeah, you did, because you attacked that girl. Say it what it is. You got up and attacked someone who did nothing to you. Dr. Nicole also said, she's like, that's my spouse. That's my spouse. I'm his girlfriend. She's not dumb. She knows the difference between a spouse and a girlfriend. So Dr. Nicole tried to not even convince her, tried to explain to her, young lady, respectfully, because she know this girl is crazy. So she tried to come to her the best way possible without getting her, flipping to her lid, because that's what she does. She said a spouse and a girlfriend are not the same thing. And Shay said it is to me. And Dr. Nicole said, well, that's not reality. And Shay said, it's maybe not your reality, but it's my reality. Shay, stop. For real. For real. You're barely his girlfriend. He doesn't even introduce you to people. And it's not the same thing, because a girlfriend can get up and leave like you did the last time. A spouse has to figure things out, go through divorce. It's a whole process. You know what I mean? So just because you went and got fake married in Vegas with no actual license does not make him your spouse. He don't even want to introduce you to his mama. You sound crazy as hell. And I don't know that I would introduce you to my mama either, because you don't know how to act. Jeez. You're not gonna be over at my mama's house popping off, acting a damn fool, embarrassing me, and I gotta stand up there and laugh like, oh, she doesn't mean it. She said Alfonso emotionally depletes her. And what you want him for? Because he think it's funny, because you said that and he literally cracked up, which I feel like when Dr. Nicole is explaining things to Alfonso and Shay, it's just a waste of time and energy because they're not listening. Shay and Alfonso are going to do things the same way they've always done them. She sat up there and told me that might be your reality, but told the doctor that might be your reality, but not mine. Like, you're not his spouse, you dingleberry. Kenneth is shorty. Man, shorty is done, man. She is at the end. Kenneth doesn't want to go on a second date. That's not what Kenneth is here for. I think Kenneth really just thinks he can, convince Shorty that they're good when they're not. Shorty is pretty much like, can y'all find him someone that he likes so he can go away and leave me alone? I think that's her, clearly that is her plan. Not I think. Clearly her plan is to find someone for this nigga because she's done, tired, finished. And oh Lord, she wants to pass this nigga on. Shorty says actually she does want a second date with Tommy Tabby, cute little light skinned boy from Orlando. She does want a second date with him. Kenneth said Dr. Nicole asked Kenneth how he felt about that. He said he just gonna roll with it. What else can you do, Kenneth, besides roll with it? Shorty's in charge. We established that from day one. You have no control here. So get in the kitchen and fix some shrimp and grits and see if she'll have dinner with you. Because right now it doesn't even seem like she want to do that. Shorty is like, we've got enough beautiful being footage. The world knows you're crazy. Now pick a girl and get the hell on because I'm done. Shay and Alfonso decide they're not going on a second date. Of course they're not. The people do not want to be bothered with y'all ever again. What did you go and say to that girl when you call her and tell her your psycho girlfriend said it's okay for you to go out with her again? Child. Hopefully they went somewhere going out with each other again, because what the hell? Because that shit was stupid. Charlie and Otis declined. Otis said he don't want a third date, and Charlie like, you don't need a third date. You got her DM. Y'all's already talking to each other like off the show, so fuck a big fat one. Y'all here already making dates. And she didn't really like that dude. Now she just mad. No, I don't want to go out with him no more either. Because that ain't it. Wasting my time. He in here like y'all done hooked him up with somebody. Hook me up with somebody then. Send me somebody cute. Dr. Nicole said, we're not here to help you find a new boo. Well, do something, because this ain't doing it. She's out. She left. Charlie left. She left Otis there. We don't know how he got home. Maybe he had to call an Uber, but she was heated and she couldn't. Ain't no way in the world she was going to be able to be in that car with him. All they were going to do is argue and fight. And well, he says they fight. She fights and he sits there with no emotion because he doesn't have any girls. What is you staying there for? He's freaking weird. Otis meets up with his dad. His mother and father were married 40 years, and his mother is no longer with us, but his dad seems like a pretty solid dude with some pretty solid advice. He told him, one thing he said was always respect each other. True that. Like, there's nothing worse than feeling disrespected by the person that's supposed to love you. He said his wife would get fiery sometimes, but then he realized that she was fiery because, it was a reaction to something that he probably did, or that he didn't listen to what she was saying. And so she felt like, she needed to like turn up in order for him to pay attention. Otis said, I be listening to Charlie, she just doesn't know it. I don't know what that even means, Otis. You be listening to her, she just doesn't know. His dad said, well, you have to make sure she knows it, that you're listening. Because, whatever you're doing is not working. He said his father told him, well, Otis said, so his father told him, you have to make sure she knows it. And Otis said, that's an interesting requirement. The way he answers things is so weird. Like, that's an interesting requirement. Is that a like really nice way to tell your dad bullshit? I'm not doing that, because that's what it sounds like. His dad says sometimes the other person might be right, And that means you're really gonna have to digest that. Otis is not gonna digest that. He's never gonna digest the fact that somebody else could possibly write, especially if he disagrees with him. So, I mean, good try, Dad. I don't know. Like, I'm assuming that you try to instill these values in him as a young child. I don't know where we went wrong, Pops, but somebody got into Otis's head and his values are not the same as yours. Or you didn't come to this conclusion until much later in your life. And you spent a whole lot of them 40 years being an asshole until you realize that wasn't the ticket. I don't know. But for as far as Otis is concerned, he's not on board yet. He thinks that's an interesting requirement. Kenneth is back in the house cooking again. He's cooking her breakfast. He wants to go on a date later. He wants to do anything but go through this process. He wants Shorty to just chill the fuck out and keep paying for things and stop getting on his nerves and calling him a loser. He doesn't want a job. He's already got 30 jobs. I saw him doing a live. I saw a live that Jay Lee did. Sorry, can't find my shoe. Okay, I'm back. I seen a live that Jay Lee did that had this fool on there on the live talking about he was an actor and a movie maker. This nigga got a new job every week. So just in case you didn't know, let's run the list down. Entrepreneur, general contractor, food blogger, strip club security, and filmmaker. Yes, if you didn't know, Kenneth is a filmmaker. So Shorty, relax. Things are about to blow up and you're gonna be sorry. Anyway, they're arguing back and forth. And he told Shorty, I mean, you're 40 years old and you keep me around. And I'm not sure what he feels like 40 is supposed to be, especially when he's 35. So, okay, weird flex or this. I don't know what that was supposed to be. But anyway, Kenneth, stop. Shorty said, you're calling me a dummy for choosing you. She said, I accept that one. Shorty is so done. On and breakfast and lunch ain't gonna work no more. My guy, she's done. Whew. When I listened to that live and I heard how ignorant he sounded, I was like, yeah, he keeps on revealing this ignorant ass nigga. So I just wonder, Shorty, what was it that you fell in love with? Like, you could not possibly fall in love with the D. Not like that. Not like that. Like, you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, like, you ain't in love with the D no more. So I don't understand, like, what his ignorant ass was saying. Don't say you fell in love. I don't know. I don't know what that was. I think a lot of times maybe people be trying to prove a point. Maybe that's what it was. And then you found out he was crazy and you couldn't undo it. Anyway, looks like we're undoing the hell out of the shit now and it's all playing out on television. Good job, Charlie. Yeah, get out how you can, girl, because he's a hot ass mess. Charlie finally, so Charlie has a date and she is done with Otis, and this is how I know. Every date that she has had so far, Charlie didn't put no, effort into combing her hair really, or she didn't do nothing special. She threw on a jeans and a t-shirt. She came out for this date looking like fire. She had on a tight little dress. Even Otis like eyes had to put, every now and then you'll catch him with his emotion. And he noticed the hell out of that dress she had on about to go on a date with somebody else. So that I did notice. Otis is in there. He's in there for real. But then he left. He left the building. He wants to talk now that she's getting ready to go on a date. Interesting time to talk. But let's have a deep conversation right now in this moment, since my girl is looking hot as hell, about to walk out the door with a different nigga. Otis said, I'm sorry. It was my fault. I wish I hadn't put you through that. I'm sorry. Okay. Otis, he's like weirdly emotionless. Like the way he communicates is scary. Charlie said she don't really believe him. So at the end of the day, that sounds really good, but it's not your words that's gonna change my mind. It's your actions. And um, she said she didn't know what it was gonna take for him to say or do to make her, feel anything, but this ain't it. And I understand that. Like whatever that shit was, he literally like had a magazine and he was like, sorry I put you through that. I was wrong. It was all on me. I wish I had have done that. And he got a drink. So there, done. Accept my apology or no? So I feel Charlie. Charlie was like, fuck you, that don't sound sorry. You was calling that chick behind my back. And now I don't know how you're gonna fix it. That's gonna be on you to figure out. I noticed that about niggas. They will do some shit to you, piss you off, say sorry, and then be mad at you for not forgiving them quick enough. Yeah, okay, bro. I don't know. He don't seem like the kind that's gonna say sorry one more time. He seems like the type that's gonna be like that. I was calm. I was listening. I said sorry. She said she don't care. That's how that's how he's gonna spin that. So, and it was just a couple of days ago, bro. Like he acting like, are you still tripping on that? Like he said it was innocent. I don't know. If you just want to point the finger. And she's like, yeah, I do. I want to point the finger. What do you mean if you just want to point the finger? Otis, you done with your apology already? So Otis said Charlie wants him to take accountability on a level that's just so crazy. If you don't mind, drop down in comments, explain that to me. I don't understand what that means, but besides, Otis needs to seek help. Every time he opens his mouth, I get a little more concerned than I was last time. He said he doesn't want to talk anymore. He's done. He said sorry. He said everything he needed to do. He went to his father. He got advice. He followed the advice. She ain't falling for it. So I'm done. I don't want to talk anymore. He said it's not working. Maybe his mother was like not as difficult as Charlie, but he did his best. And what can we expect? He did his best. So yeah. Charlie left the house looking amazing. And sorry, Otis. Shay sits down with her mother and her aunt. They came, with words of wisdom. Shay works from home. Maybe she should leave the house. Like she has nothing to do but work from home and wait on this nigga to come back. And so she's sitting around the house obsessing and on the internet and trying to chase down, girls that are trying to get with Fonzo, say hi to Fonzo. Her mother's been married to, I don't know, she was married to her father and her stepfather for both for a substantial amount of time. I think it was 20 years with her father and 10 years with her stepfather. I mean, she was in long marriages. She said her mother knows how to reel them in. Just because she stayed married for a long time don't mean they were reeled in, but her mother did have boundaries, that she required. She knew what she wanted. She said it, set her guidelines as far as her expectations for a relationship. And she said if they wasn't, living up to those expectations, or I'm not even expectations, like those standards, then she out. She didn't say, she said she's out, basically, and that's how that is. If somebody is not meeting up to your standards, the boundaries that you set as far as a relationship concerned, and I guess you're the one that has to leave. They don't have to change who they are. You have to leave. You have to change, your, position. And if it's not okay for you, then you have to leave because you can't change a person. I think that's the whole point in this. I don't understand the point of put a ring on it, though. Not with these, none of these should be putting a ring anywhere. This should be called How to Break Up with Your Sorry Ass Nigga. Or your crazy ass girlfriend, because Shay is the crazy one. Shay does not know what she wants. necessarily. I don't think she's that wrong. She's just really crazy. Like the way she responds to things in a way where it's so childish and immature, like you can be cussing people out and attacking people in public. Like, girl, there's something wrong with you. You need to fix that and worry about Fonzo later because he's not fixing anything. He doesn't have any interest in fixing anything. He thinks that your ass is funny for acting a fool. And I think also it's getting old. That's why you're in such a frenzy right now. It's getting old. He's tired of watching you act a fool because he's not doing anything different. He's not going to. Charlie meets with her date. It's a no for me. He's a fuck boy. He's like a less attractive Odell Beckham, which was bothering me because it was just not that cute Odell Beckham with the blonde hair, and I think he went. I think he thinks he looks like Odell Beckham, so he went that step farther to make himself, with the blonde hair and the same kind of haircut. He did say something about him playing football, so the similarities in the body type are probably there. Charlie thinks he's charming. Okay, I think he's a fuckboy, but maybe that's what she's charmed by. I think Charlie knows that this is the type of dude that would have Otis squirming a little bit because he's got the same kind of ridiculous inflated ego that he would like to probably describe it as self-confidence, but it's a little bit more than that. He's nasty. He's sitting up here talking about how him and his girlfriend had threesomes and he couldn't keep up with her sex drive. It was one of those conversations that was real corny, kind of. It wasn't interesting, but she needed to giggle and have fun. So I think it's maybe it's when she told him to hook her up. So they hooked her up, and she might need to get her back banged out. So maybe that's maybe that's what he's here for. So Shorty and Kenneth go on a date. Like Kenneth is trying so hard. I wonder who's paying though. Like it would look like a nice enough place. Is Shorty, are you taking him out to lunch or is he taking you out? She was like, I'm not holding your hand. She won't even hold his hand. Like, this is your dude. You don't even want to hold his hand. No, she's not holding his hand. What does Kenneth be wearing? He got on a turtleneck and a little bitty, like his medium shirt. It's a little tight and short. He's a big guy. Shorty, she's done. We can't fix everything, Shorty. This doesn't look like you fixed anything over there. His swag is whackety whack. And he's young, just like somebody's granddaddy. He looked like he hang out with Otis' daddy. He's just trying to woo her and like telling her how your smile reminds me of when I first met you for the first time. And she's like, really? That's what you're thinking about? Like nothing he says is getting under her skin at all. Like she super duper hates him. And then he just out the blue leaned over to kiss her. She's like, stop, don't make it, say something. You can't just kiss me. You gotta say something to make it be real. And that shit's whack. So sit your big ass down because I don't want you kissing me. Not holding your hand, not kissing you in the restaurant. Please find a girlfriend and get the fuck on. That's where I'm at with it. She's trying to have a conversation with him. He's like, let's just save it for Dr. Nicole and let's just remember the good times. She doesn't want to remember the good time. She's probably annoyed by those memories too at this point, Kenneth. It's time for you to figure out a plan, Kenneth. Let's work on a plan. What are you gonna do next? Because you're gonna have to go out of Shorty's life. She's done. Kenneth, when are you going to work? That's what she want to know. She wants you to get a job, period. Pay some of these bills, because you're not. Kenneth said it's impossible to communicate with you when you go that hard. And I feel like, yeah, he can't communicate on your level, shorty. When you're communicating with him, he literally doesn't, he can't keep up. His language is, let me like hold her hand. Like he really doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. I don't know. I guess like in the way he said it, expressed himself, she was like excited by how he, raised his voice, I guess, or I don't know what that was, but she was like, she has mixed emotions. I like when he's asserting himself, and she's like, yeah, put your foot down and be the man. But then she's like, who do you think you're talking to? Well, he's talking to you, but like being loud and overbearing is not being a man, though. So she confused her damn self. You can't put your foot down if you're not paying no bills. Plain put period point blank. That's why you feel like who you think you're talking to, because he is not in the position to put his foot down. Period. She told him, if you can't keep up, then move on. I think she just broke up with you, Kim. I think that's what that was. If you can't keep up, then move on. You said you can't keep up, but we know you can't keep up, Kim. We know you can't. We know it, you know it. So now what we gonna do? Charlie meets up with Otis. They haven't been talking apparently, so they're meeting up at this little restaurant. He said he didn't already apologize, so the ball's in her court. Otis don't know what else she wants him to do. He said sorry. She wasn't trying to hear it. He ain't trying to do. He's over the process. He's over it. He just, is there a server here? Because I'm trying to eat. Charlie's not eating. She's trying to communicate with Otis, and Otis is not. And it's unfortunate because, when he called himself trying to talk to her, that's not what was really going on. He's an asshole trying to be funny. Sorry, didn't mean to do it. Was trying to put you through it. So yeah, fuck Otis. They start arguing about the DMs again. Otis says they were innocent. We know they're not innocent. So basically, Charlie is like, if you're not willing to move past it, then move the hell on. That's where she's at with it. We'll see if that's true. He got up and walked out. She sat there like, well, before he walked out, she's like, stop, leave me alone. Pretty much beat it, and I'm done. Like, all of a sudden, when she got done, I don't know, all of this communication, now he wants to talk about things. She like picked up her phone, like, if you said you're done with the process, that means that's it. So he walked out, and I guess we'll see next week what's gonna happen. Like I said, I don't believe any of these couples belong together. Put no ring on it. I don't think Shay should be sent out on any more dates, nor Otis or Fonzo. Fonzo has no issues with his dating life. He's got a very full ticket. So having dates is not something that he needs to do. And why give this girl another opportunity to attack someone for walking on the sidewalk? So, that's it, y'all, for this episode of Put a Ring on It. Again, I don't have any other. Well, I did watch last season, which is what made me like want to review this season. So I don't know if there's any real incentive to put a ring on it. Not like these couples here. I don't think any of them should be. I think they should all break up. That's what I think. But like I said, next week we'll see what's to y'all. In the meantime, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next